Praise the Lord. This is Prophetess Gibborim, and we're coming because we want to announce that in the future, Dr. Gibborim is coming, and it looks like it's going very well, and that we can expect by the end of 2026 that we're going to see Dr. Bathsheba Gibborim. So yeah, we're very happy. We're very happy with the things that is going on. We're very happy with the stuff that the Lord is doing, and we are very happy to know that we're going to uh, be attending uh, commencement ceremony in March, and what we told people was to meet us uh, in May of this year, to meet us in Washington at the monument area if they want to enjoy a brief sermon. It's nothing official. We're just coming and doing something celebratory attached to earning the MPA and going through the ceremonies. And it's a special event for those who know what I've been through in my lifetime. I've loaded all a lot of things and stayed away from a lot of things, but I'm getting mid 50s going into my 60s, and we really think that we have earned the right. You know, I said, the Lord continue to push me in the direction of things we're going. We really plan to do something substantial with what the work is, the training for what. You know, no one is going to sit there and go through these things, and it's been very challenging trying to do the things that I've done over the years, and I just thank God that He really has given me a vision for the things that He wants me to do, and we have to get healthy. Everyone know right now I'm 275, and I have to get this weight off. And once I get between 115 and 125 and get the clothes and the heels and the nails done, and I said we're gonna do it right. Girls, I said we're gonna do it right. Every quarter gonna find a nice spa to go get a pedicure. I'm talking about when my money start coming in from my earnings. I usually pace myself, but I allow for myself, and we do plan in the future to purchase a condo. They have very nice, inexpensive condos in this area, and not this exact area. We're probably going to move towards Summerlin. Very inexpensive condos that towards the Summerlin area, and that's a start. And we're looking for God to bless us with the money to put down, because you know, people know I don't have a whole lot, but one of the things that I do have is the ability to seek the Lord on the behalf, not only for myself, but for others, to share the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ. And as God give the approval for me to do more, there'll be an anointing, there'll be a grace for me to go further as God then provide the funding and the monies. And we're believing God for a lot, because there is such um, a need in society for people with morals and ethics to take a stand against a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people are messed up, are mixed up, and they just don't have the things that they need, because no one challenges certain things that are going on. And I have the training, I have the knowledge, I have the skills, and there's certain easy easy things to do, um, and changes to make. For example, the consulting firms in business, the things that I want to do to just evaluate and expose within corporations where there's problems and where there's a need for them to make some severe changes and to really get an insight on what some of the problem is. I think one of the biggest contributions that I can make to bringing some of our corporate leaders and corporations, as the Lord lead me to one that will partner with my consulting firm that we're about to start. Once I get everything put together, we'll share more. Is the finances to really do the cost and benefit analysis and show them how it's going to improve them financially and how these changes will pay for themselves. A lot of people is not just selecting to cut corners. It's like I might can't feed my family. The life that my wife need, she might leaves me. I've been through a lot in my life, and I finally found a way to piece things together, and it just started to work. And when you start seeing other people coming and doing things, and everybody wants you to put so many hats on as a leader, it gets hard. It gets hard when you don't want your wife who like nice things to walk off. You don't want your children to look at you when they just can't go to that nice club and that school, and you got to uproot your kid because you're not making the money. You're not bringing the money in. You have to now do and change policies and cut corners and do things and make decisions that might cut your money so far down you're not going to be able to make the money as the CEO, the checks and the evaluations that you do and get the money you get. And there may be some policies that can greatly impact corporate revenue if a few things was changed. And some people say, I can't update it. My whole world will go away. And so it's hard for them to see the need um, to step up. And this is when it gets scary because you have people that comes in and said, I'm sorry, you know, are you trying to save a corporation of hundreds and thousands of people lives and more tied, or are you trying to save a handful of conspicuous living CEOs that have valid hurts and scares, but it's just not a good fit at this time for your corporation? The real HRMs and consulting firm is going to say they have to leave. They're going to fire them. They have to go. And if it's a situation that is really something that you can do something about, this is where you're going to need sensitive ears to say, the type of recommendation that I'm making is not then needed to be directed at some other department. You need to sit down and do some personal say, hey, if you want to keep this job and if you want to keep your lifestyle, I have to deal with you separately than the company. Because with the company, when I'm looking, they're going to want to take your job. You wanting to keep, your six-figure salary and the CEO and the stuff that, here we have personal products for you to use. It's a personal opportunities, but the only way we can get this going is if you partner with me separately for individual. If somebody's gonna share, this is when it gets very, weird, and you're gonna have to have your attorneys look at things. But there is a way to suggest that he get some other investments other than just you're going to take the whole company so you can, how much are we talking? You need for somebody to come in and to show the numbers of now. You know, you see what I'm saying? To sit up there like, oh, and just walk away. It's like, wait a minute. Because I know things can fester. To sit there and talk to somebody and say how much money is it different, would you say, if we kind of clean up things for the company, how much money, and I just, you know, from what I'm seeing, let me throw some numbers at you, and if he starts saying, yeah, it's worse than that, you know, you said, well, do you really, he said, I'm telling you that I can probably find with your skills a way for you to bring in 4 times, not even connected to this company, what you're sitting up here worrying somebody gonna put your name in the newspaper and have you and your family go through hell because you don't want to bring this company up to par because of how much money you're making. If I can get you some personal deals and you stay on board with this company, but there's several other companies that can use your some of your expertise if you come on with me as an executive consultant. I'm looking at several different things right now that if you take on and you get their company, if you evaluate the type of money and you could bring in who you are with your names, the things that you can have them clean up and do, you can make 4 times what you're doing. And we're talking about 4 top companies right now. This is the type of things that we're talking about, but you stay on here. But you just accept some other roles with some accounts that I need somebody to come in and pull together. Would you sign on with my company as an executive consultant and collaborator at a top level? And they would pay to have somebody like you come and look at their books and get things together, to make evaluations, to clean up their books. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'll let this company, all of a sudden the Dow Jones has just had a record day, you know. And that's the type of stuff that I'm looking to do with my company that I put together in the future, that literally the deals that I can come in and do and see the stock market and the whole economy nationally and globally rally and go crazy and tons of money, and seeing the executives being able to exhale and to breathe again. You know, it's something when you're just holding your breath and waiting for the right opportunity to just exhale, to let it out, and to inhale. Um, it's hard to try to be on the top, to be the best, hobnob and look good and keep everybody happy and have your needs met. And nobody want to be the laughing stock of their peer group after you've been taken to the pinnacle. So how are you going to bring in the right type of solutions? And you need companies that really going to come and say, hey, you know, I can come in and make the solutions. Let's work together. Let's work together. What are we talking about here? And there is so much that you so are owed from and so deserve, but it's just not put in the right place. You should have the best of everything. When you really do quality work, that means that this is what you should be doing. But it's not necessarily just staying where you're at with the things you're doing, just tweaking it a little bit, and you'll be surprised how much more you should actually have than what people whining about, because you're holding up a couple of, you know, managers and group that are important from getting an extra $10,000-$20,000 a year with their policy changes. You know, some of the ones that could pull the rugs from under you. How many people would love to get a 20 to $30,000 a year increase in their managerial roles? And you could do it, and all of a sudden, some of your biggest problems is not a problem anymore. And that's just one area. Just one area. Some stuff people going through is just personal garbage. And as you make those changes and they bring them aboard to get to the other things and turn it around, the company and run more efficiently and productively and make all the updated policies and move some people around and promote some people, and all of a sudden seeing the numbers change, but where the money goes and where the benefits of the changes go, all of a sudden is happening, and people just have to let it happen, and people lives are changed, and people lives are changed. How and it is, but it's a lot how people piece together and do things. So consulting and managerial consulting and corporate consulting at what level could change the world? And we're going to start off very slow, and then we're just going to let God just does this. 3 or 4 really good deals and accounts can just change, but that's not what we're stopping at. I want to have the TV commercials. I want to have the billboards for a consulting firm. We're not talking about celebrity status. We're talking about brand status of a really good company that you might see my face synonymous with something, and I've seen people faces synonymous with things and corporations, but they're not going to the Oscars. They might not be at some of the things and the events, and that's not really a big thing. But there's like business deals and awards dinners, um, lucrative things that goes along with it, and who invites you that are corporate leaders that nobody even know to parties and events and dinners and things. It can get, the perks, of course, get nights, but that should go along with the job. So basically, I'm preparing to go back to work, and slowly, you know, it gets better. What's funny, just me showing up in an office and start to get some traditional clothes for work and stuff is gonna be huge. To just get a closed private office and to get up every day at 8 o'clock. And I said, we're going to start, the first thing I'm going to start to do is my internship, because the real businesses world, you can get all the degrees in the world. They want to see the work experience. Nobody want to hear the fluff. So we got a little ways to go, and we got to get the internships in after at least 3 to 4 years of some experience working in the business community. We're expecting to get things. We're going to work on some things, but that type of stuff at working with GMs and executive as early as maybe 5 years from now, with some experience, been in that executive level. Right now, just doing the internships, some opportunities I do expect at that level to open up with certain executives. But yeah, I this is, like I said, my DR status in front of my name is not going to even happen until 2026. So it's that'll be 2 years of going on of internships that I should have by then. By the time my doctorate, so saying another 2, 3 years after that. Um, Myself, I know I'm a business, saying a business owner, but I still, I'm going to be looking for. There's remote virtual work GM jobs and things that are out there, um, and expertise and things I have, but just been able to get the business access to people at certain level, 3, 4, 5 years, to have references from GMs and supervisors of even doing fellowships or internships where you've dealt with management and you can you can absolutely show and prove the type of skills and ability and things that you have in business administration type of consulting. So I have to first do my internships regarding my doctorate degree at National, and then we'll have to see down the road what we're talking about. Six-figure salaries. Six-figure salaries for doing business consulting work. Six-figure salaries. So people talk about, people going to school. Don't nobody sit and go to school from 2009 to now just to make the median income of the country. We're talking about making huge dollars in my own private consulting firm. And so the top Fortune 500 companies, I'm looking to partner with just a handful. Annually you can get some good contracts and things put together and just have monies just coming in for making evaluations. We were talking about tool SWOT analysis and different diagnostics tools, evaluation, personality tests with the IO psychology that you can do to find out who can be even in certain positions or who is high risk for making unethical choices and decisions for the company that creates criminal liability. Say it again, criminal liability. One of the main things that you want to do is make sure you don't hire and partner with the criminals because you're gonna be in jail. Yeah, yeah, and this is what we're talking about. If you really are serious about being successful in today's corporate world, risk management and assessment, the first thing you're going to do is look at a way to be more effective when you're making your hiring, your promotions, even your sanctioning within your company. You need people that follow up-to-date corporate rules and laws so they don't create liabilities where you can be sued by employees, sued by individuals, and the consulting things you do. You want to make sure you get people in place that are very knowledgeable about the law, business and employment law. This is what my MPA. I'm very knowledgeable about employment law, very knowledgeable about human rights laws, and if you don't know, one of the things you're gonna always have to be researching and knowing what government sites to go to always check current policies, pending policies, to go on the websites where they're telling you where they're at with things that they're trying to legislate, the legislative branch. You need to watch because you need to find where you're going to be involved with different companies and policies, analysts and advisors and lobbyists for different things that you're going to be able to say, hey, I'm even involved in getting these changes within the corporate laws, within our national policies, so that these things that we are recommending to you, the best policies, are put in place that is only going to complement what we're having you implementing, anticipating effective policy changes with our national leaders in the future, because that is how connected we're going to be. That we're going to be making recommendations, anticipating where you're going to be going, what's going to be happening in the future, but what you're going to have knowledge of to do today as corporate leaders. And so I can't wait. I want to share some things, but I can't wait till I get it together, because people just have to start making better sense in the whole scope of how they do business. Of course, you got to include nationally, the national policies in Washington, D.C., and be able to capitalize on that when you're dealing with your corporate clients, of telling them and ensuring them I'm the right company for you to do business with, because I'm going to see that what I'm implementing for your company, not only today but in the future, is only going to continue to improve your organization performance. Your numbers is going to continue. We're going to do forecasting using forecasting tools of what we expect. Anything that is realistic is going to be gradual growth. And so to see 5, 10, even 25 years down the road, what kind of numbers you should be making for your company, and to compare that with similar things that has happened with policies and things and changes in what in the future, and things that we're going to be doing to see people do better in business in the future. And so that's one of the things we're going to be able to do to forecast a steady growth in your revenue as a company. I wouldn't trust somebody just coming in and ridiculous numbers just going to instantly just, whatever. It can happen, and it depends on what it is that somebody needs to come in and change. Like I said before, it can happen. But if it literally is updating people on current policies and trends that you don't know, you might have a situation where people might have to be fired and leave, like I said before. So you start seeing triple numbers in your revenue. I might would make the recommendation, if they didn't already have it in place and it was something that I come in and see, and say, hey, let me tell you what's going on to whoever brought me in. And if we come up with the same numbers, after I do some evaluations of some weak areas and points and practices, you have to know how to come to that determination that you let some people go. So we're having so much fun. And this is why you should pick a job. You should pick and decide on going down an academic path where you can see where you get to do the things you love. And when I was working with the state of Michigan, deciding what I want to do, this on a work, or just like, don't you get anything? You go the distance, basically, is what she was telling me, and you actually you get some money. You get a good job that's gonna make you some good money. And that's why I'm going for a doctorate, because everybody know you should make some money investing that long in education. And so Dr. Gibborim is coming. And so this year we're going to go to graduation for our master's in public administration. We have an associate's in general business from Charles Sturt Mott. We have a psychology degree from Columbia Southern University. We have, and that goes well with what? I owe psychology. Everybody know when we came up that I was like, oh my God, this is great. And that is using psychological concepts in consulting, in trying to improve workplace behavior, as we were just dealing with plan behavior theory. And people do understand that. They know it very well. All of the girls that I know, older than me or my age, that we were working, yeah, they can eat all this stuff. They know all this stuff. So smart, so smart. Yeah. And so, but yeah, it's just using psychology so that you can tell people how to ethically do your job better. Yeah, how you tell your kids, clean up your room and I'll give some incentives. Yeah. All of that stuff works well in psychology of how to effectively run companies. And so IO psychology, psychology, you can use to straighten out your organization and to get people being top performers that normally is just somewhere in the middle of the road, and they're not very motivated to get going. And this is where you really need people to come in and do the team meetings and to bring in coffee and donuts and give them a good start in the morning and talk about issues and clearing it out and all that stuff, so that people can be motivated to get to work and make those numbers, um, and be a success, and meet the corporate employee objectives that they have for their employees, for them to be satisfied as individual internal customers, and for them to continue to look to be the tomorrow leaders at the corporation that you intend them to be. And this is where my training is going. And this is what I've been doing, and taking my time and getting an education, so my own business help corporations be better in the future. We've seen a lot of things, the American citizen and civilians, that we just don't like. We just don't like when you hear us talking about what we see in the news, the type of things that happen with Enron and other leaders and stuff get caught in just poor conduct. And it a lot of times, the consumer sees the whole thing, and it drives up cost, and it tears down the quality of life in our the poor corporations. What they do, you saw with BP oil spill, and the environment, and what it did to the birds and the things on the side, and the people was worried about the water and all this stuff that we've seen over the years, while I've been going to school and before. These type of things is exactly really good examples to tell even the little ones why you want to make sure you know how to bring about a change in corporations, so people do their jobs and they don't hurt your environment, or your babies in the future that you're going to have. And this type of education is key and critical, so that we can have a quality society. And so I believe in this stuff, and I'm going to be proud to walk across that stage and meet President Fernandez. That's I forget I say his name, at American Public University system, and shake hands and take my honorary little diploma, because I already got my diploma. It was conferred on April 1st for public administration. Then we're off to Washington, D.C., our nation capital, where I said before that I was going to be speaking by the Washington Monument. This is literally what with my selfie, a selfie speaking. There's I don't know nobody. I don't have a federal position other than pay my student loans back. But we I was born on Nixon 1975. I couldn't do what I do without Nixon, and I'm a Republican. I am still 1975 COLA, 1975 cost of living adjustment has helped me over the years, and so I'm an avid Republican. And I think, Pat Nixon was one of the most beautiful, beautiful first ladies we've ever seen. And she was from Ely, Nevada. Harry Reid country, Nevada. Yeah, but she was from Ely. I don't know if he knows about Ely, Nevada. But yeah, I do love it here in Nevada. So a lot of people, I don't know if they knew that about Nixon, that his wife was from the state of Nevada. So I enjoy being here. It's a very, very beautiful place. And I just tell people, when you come to Las Vegas, if you're from the city, if you're from places like Michigan and stuff, it's a desert. So it is a desert. And it's beautiful. And with that in mind, that it is a desert, it's a very, very, very beautiful city. There is so many different parts of Las Vegas. We were putting up an area where there was water, and there's man-made water. That they have a whole area that looked like a little Italy. And I'm not talking about the Venetian. You get around in boats. You can go leave your house in a boat and go for a while and come back by boat. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful area. And so it's there's so many different things people don't know about this beautiful little city, that some of everything and every type of housing is here and available. They're coming up with a lot of innovations and things. And for me, like I said, I just love downtown Summerlin area. So I'm headed towards out there by those beautiful purple mountains, and I just want to get a nice condo towards that way. Um, if not by the end of next year, probably 2026, closer to graduation, 2026 with my doctorate degree. We're going to leave from here. And so I'm anticipating being here for probably another year, and that's it. But yeah, this year we get to go and get the MPA and then go to Washington and enjoy ourselves. And I am just a proud graduate to see that the system works. And so, like I said, the internships is the best way to break up, ladies, that I was talking about before. Internships is probably one of the best way to break up the feminization of poverty. Unpaid internship, and that's it. If you're already receiving your stipends for a doctorate, and you want to pick a school that you can negotiate your stipend, and that's payment. If you're working part-time, that's payment. And so when you get to doing that year internship, you can take the unpaid internship, and most internships lead to a job, or you can go and get and start to prepare. After that internship, you should get a reference. I found internships that you pay them $15,000 to $2,000, and whether it's a year or 6 months, you have a reference that'll help you start a job. Now, internships a lot of time lead directly to jobs, paid jobs. So you might just have to, for 6 months or a year, take an unpaid internship, and at the end of it, they offer you a job. At the end of my internship that's unpaid, if they offer me a job, I'm going to take it. If not, I'm going to use another internship to just rack up the experience and to rack up the good reference. And then about 3 years, 2, 3 years that we were talking about, of internship, 6 months to a year, you should have enough to just go and get your regular job just on your internship experience, even if they didn't hire you with a doctorate degree that has been conferred within 6 months or a year. So you should be fine. As far as needing experience, most places, and I looked them up and I can post them, they want you to have 3 to 5 years of experience, if you have a doctorate in what they're looking for. And so this is when you really need to at least have the internships with companies that is in the area, that is successful company in the areas that you're looking to get your degree in, and you should get hired. So we know that there is a way out of the feminization of poverty. For some people, it's like, oh my God, I have to take an internship, and they don't disconnect the paid internship because, like, I don't want to lose this benefit. I don't want to lessen my EFC number, because I think they would, it might affect it. I'm not sure. I know Trump did something with how much, but I think it was 30,000 that you have to be over before it change your EFC. If you get a Grand Plus loan, I don't think it matters anyway. So that's it for me, and that's something I'm going to put together for people, how you can keep your benefits and do internships And even that is tricky because when they want to start saying, where are you benefiting from this and that, you can go back to work. The Ticket to Work program is supposed to ensure that you're not going to lose your benefits, um, in which we're getting to the close to the end of it, because our doctorate is so we be a school teacher and a professor, and so that's our whole IWP. So I can teach. My short term IWP was to start my consulting firm, which we're going to go look at the office so we can try to um, get with that. But our long term IWP is to teach. Our long term IWP is to teach, and our professor job would to get it. Your resume requires you to have publications. Yeah, yeah. They want you to have like publications and research out there in the field in the area that you want to teach at. Often, is a lot of people want to see your publications and your research and your projects to go along with your doctorate separately, to work on your own with the journals in your field of study, and to submit some substantial contributions. There's a lot to bypassing regularly having to go through regular licensing. So I have so many steps, but yeah, we're getting prepared. This year, I should have several submissions to several different journals before the end of this year. My dissertation courses start sometime next year. And even next year, we're going to have submissions to the journals um, in the area of studies that I've committed to. And once we do that, we're looking to once we do that, we're looking to then graduate and then start teaching remotely. Not on campus teaching remote work, because I told people I still have the issues with some of my disabilities, and I prefer to make sure that I keep a stable job in position. And I think for job security purposes, remote, virtual teaching adjunct professor jobs is probably the best for me long term, and a train to be able to teach online school. And I'm hoping with seeing some of our top Ivy League school offering adjunct professors positions. I mean, you're talking about like Yale, Harvard, Princeton. Yeah, yeah. Getting the doctorate, because that's long term, hoping to get a professor job there down the road, teaching in business administration to people pursuing graduate degrees, level degrees. So this ain't to teach elementary school. This is to teach adult level um, expertise that I know in business curriculum. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. And I just want to thank all my Facebook family, all the wonderful things that they have been doing. Amazing how you've continued to just show your support. So I'm very, very thankful. And that's it for tonight. So always remember Jesus and always keep him on your mind. I'm about to get something to eat and get into bed. Bye bye.